Hello, everyone. Welcome to Green Marketing Zone's Digital Marketing Talks. Are you running an e-commerce store, an agency, or a brick and mortar store? Are you spending a lot of time and money to run ads on Facebook and still not getting the desired results? Facebook ads are an important factor in attracting more clients for a profitable business. Today, I will be talking about how to create a Facebook advertising strategy in 2020. And there have been so many changes since the pandemic started. And Facebook is still a preferred place. Facebook ads is still a preferred place for 97% of marketers to run paid ads. The goal of Facebook ads on any business is to produce a profitable return on every ad dollar that they are putting in. So do stick till the end because today my guest will be sharing strategies on how to create Facebook advertising strategy to get more return on your ad spend. And be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Green Marketing Zone, for more tips and strategies to grow your business. So let's get started.
Awesome.
This talk is intended for educational purposes only. My guest today is Diana Menti. She is a full-service Facebook ads launch strategist and manager for aspiring 7 to 8-figure entrepreneurs. And she is an owner of ngadvertising.com. So let's welcome her. Hey, Diana.
Hi, Rana. Thanks so much for having me. This is super fun.
Yeah, it's like, Facebook ads are very, very important these days, especially like the holiday season is coming and everybody is getting ready to sell their stuff.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and any fun fact or anything that you want to tell us.
Sure. Yeah, well, thanks for having me and great intro. So, I have about 5 years or so of digital marketing experience in sales and advertising. But I just started my own business about a year ago, actually a little over a year ago. And so I focus on service-based businesses or working with service-based businesses to help them generate leads and make high ticket sales. So that's really my zone of expertise. I know there might be some people here who are watching with e-commerce businesses or local businesses, which actually I started out working with local businesses too. So some of these tips and strategies will definitely be applicable, but there's a ton of information, of course, that you've probably seen on the internet that to, I guess, get the best results for your specific industry. And fun fact, well, me and Rana were just talking about, I recently moved from the cold Midwest out to Arizona. So it's nice and warm here today, like mid 70s, and I'm happy to be here. So we had a different time zone, but getting used to everything.
That's awesome. Yeah, you have to get used to the warm weather now.
Yeah, but it's great.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So let's start with first, what is a Facebook ad strategy and why it is important to create one?
Yeah, so if you're going to use Facebook ads as like one of the main parts of your advertising for your business, having a full strategy around kind of a well thought out strategy around what your goals are and what you want to accomplish and achieve is going to be super important before you just start throwing money into the machine, right? Because without a strategy in place, you kind of are just throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying to find something that sticks and hoping that it works. So it can look something like what's going to be it's kind of the same thing as a lot of marketing tactics is designing your funnel and figuring out how are you going to push people through your funnel using ads and where do which ads meet people at different stages of the funnel. So mapping that out in advance to develop that strategy is super important.
Exactly. Having a strategy is very, very important when you're starting out with any business, be it a product-based business or if it's a service-based business.
Definitely.
So right now holidays are coming and people are shopping, and some people are trying to sell their stuff, their products, their services, and it's a prime time for businesses to advertise, to get more clients, to get more customers, and so how do you make sure that the ad objective that you're selecting will give you the maximum results for what you're looking for?
Yeah, that's a great question. So a lot of people, if you're doing direct response advertising or you're looking specifically for purchases or leads or something like that, you're really going to want to make sure you're choosing the right objective, because without choosing the right objective, sometimes you can end up with what a lot of us do end up with when we just kind of take a look at the ads manager the first time and you're thinking, cool, sounds good. I want people to click my link. I'll go with link clicks, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just going to run a traffic campaign. Oh, okay, yes, brand awareness sounds good. I want to do that. But if it's something where you really want to drive sales, drive leads, and be able to track that, you're going to want to choose probably the conversion objective. Also, the lead gen form can be super helpful for generating leads if you don't have a landing page. And then, of course, there are a ton of other objectives that are all important at different stages of the funnel. So it's just a matter of knowing when to use which objective. But for if you're going cold audience to generate leads or purchases, conversions is probably a great way to go. Okay,
so let's say if somebody is just trying to get the brand awareness, and so having those clicks, do you think they really matter the most, or what do you suggest for anybody who's just trying to get the brand awareness? Or
sure.
Yeah.
So if you're just trying to get brand awareness, you can do things like there's the brand awareness objective, which you can totally use. You can do something like video views, which is just showing your ad to a bunch of people who are most likely to view your video or watch a through play of your video. You can do things like a page or post engagement campaign. So that's asking for like comments or likes or different things on your ad. Or you can do something like a traffic campaign where you might be driving people to click on a link that will go to a blog post on your website or something and learn more about you or your product. And that way too, you'll have the pixel set up ideally so that all those people are being tracked for future retargeting.
Awesome. So as of right now, more people are spending time online because they can't go outside, they can shop the way they used to be. So we can find more people online that we can attract. And I heard that the CPM rates are also lower because of that in the past couple of months. And right now it's a good time to advertise on Facebook. So how do you think somebody can attract an audience that can convert to be a paying customer? Like, is there any effective way to create the audience that can convert them to be a paying customer?
Sure. So audience, and this comes with any part of creating your ad, when you're doing the audience and really thinking about who you're going to target, doing this ahead of time and doing a lot of research and putting a lot of thought into who is my ideal customer, where are they going to be, what interest can I target to reach them on Facebook. So doing that. In terms of one part of the campaign, say like objective or targeting or copy or creative, there's not one single thing that's going to just be like, you have to get this one thing right to be able to convert people, right? It needs to be cohesive, that everything's working together and is exactly the message that your ideal client needs to hear for them to make the move to buy your product, opt in for your service, anything like that. And again, it all comes back to that strategy as well, because it takes, on average 7 touch points for somebody to recognize your brand and maybe decide to make a decision. So also, how many times are you touching people on their news feed, right? How many times are you showing up to really be able to, have a little patience and how long it takes for somebody to convert?
Exactly. So how much do you think, I was once running an ad and I was just thinking about that, okay, my audience is fairly broad. when I selected everything in my ad objective and everything. But just having the clarity on, okay, do I have to target lookalike audience at this point, or what will be the effective way for me to create an audience, be it a custom or be it a lookalike audience? Like, what do you think about how do we strategize that thing?
Yeah, so if you have an established business and you have an email list that is full of ideal clients, or you've had your pixel installed on your website that is that has your ideal people showing up on it, then those are great things to utilize for retargeting for custom audiences and also for creating lookalike audiences based off of. So those are two, like the custom audience for retargeting is super powerful when you're getting to that part in your funnel where you're like, okay, I want to retarget these people for this offer, whether it's for like a coupon or to book a call with you or whatever that looks like. Then on the other side, using that same information to create a lookalike audience, which is a cold audience of people that looks most like your current list or your current ideal clients. That's how you leverage that, and you can put that in a cold traffic campaign so that you're finding more people who already look like your ideal client that you've acquired. So that's a great way. Both are super powerful to leverage and can get you really great results if you have a list or pixeled information that is very specific to your business and isn't outdated or for an old business or offer or something like that.
Cool. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a very important thing, because you have to make sure that the audience that you're selecting, it is something that is relating to what your objective is, or what are you trying to do here. So, definitely. And what is the best way to create an ad copy for gaining greater sales conversion? Because that's one of the hardest thing that, like, I feel like it's very hard to create a copy that is compelling, and somebody, when they look at it, they're like, okay, this is something that I have to click on. So how do you create that ad copy?
Yeah, it all starts with the hook, right? Because those are the first like couple words that are going to show up, and then you really have to entice people to click the see more. So it all starts with the hook. What is something that your audience really wants to know? They really want to solve. They really want to have. And thinking of those things in terms of their perspective, and how can you put your messaging in a way that positions you as somebody who can solve their problem, meet their need. So doing that is a great way to get people to click. And then, of course, making sure after they click, the rest of the copy is relevant to the hook and your offer is strong that it makes them want to take action.
Interesting. Yeah, that's something that's like, I've seen most people, they struggle with that thing, because they really want to make sure the ad copy that they're creating, it's actually relating to, or it's actually converting, that people are clicking on it. If you want somebody to fill out a form, they can fill out that form with that ad copy. It has to be compelling enough for somebody to click on that thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So what are some good ways of targeting cold audiences and retarget warm audiences especially during the holiday season?
Just do it how you've always done it. So it would be kind of the same thing, but again, holiday season is a great time to create a new strategy. If you do have special holiday offers that you're going to want to kind of, if you're creating a whole new holiday strategy, but the same kind of thing at your different stages of the funnel, where am I going to retarget people with what offers? And the same thing, you can use your lookalike audiences to find new cold leads or customers.
So do you think having a Facebook pixel or maybe doing an A/B testing is also a great way to figure out, like, how do you think that you can target cold audiences through that? Because most of the time, let's say if you're new to Facebook ads and everything, it's like having everything set up and then do A/B testing as well. These things are totally new for somebody. So how can they make sure that when they are targeting, they are targeting to people who are going to become their paying customers.
Yeah. So it would be like the same. So you definitely want to have your pixel set up on your website. And so once that's set up and active, that's going to track everything, right? And then split testing is always important. I always emphasize writing multiple copy variations, creating multiple creative options, split testing landing pages so that you have that different data for you to build on in the future for future ad campaigns.
And also having the demographics and interest-based targeting. What do you think about that? Like, I always had this, like, sometimes it's like much easier to target your audience with through the interest, and it is very easy to do it through demographics. But when you're doing through interest or through their behavior, it's always a little bit trickier because you have to first know who your audience is. So how do you make sure that you're targeting the right audience at the point where, okay, they will convert or there will be some results that you'll see? How do you make sure about that targeting?
Sure. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing as with split testing. So putting them in different ad sets. And so you can put your audience interests in one ad set and then try things like job titles, behaviors, relationship statuses, those types of things in different ad sets. So you can kind of see performance-wise what's working best for you, what you should scale up, what you can turn off, and those different pieces.
That's great. So how do you track the effectiveness of your ad campaign?
Yeah, the inside of the ads manager is, of course, super helpful. But what I always say is, like, that's one of the biggest challenges that people have is reading that and being able to assess like what's working well. ROI is a huge thing if you're e-commerce. Otherwise, your cost per lead or cost per result or whatever you want to get. Think of setting that and what's acceptable to you or what your goal is before you start the campaign, but also being realistic and then seeing if it's meeting that, and if not, what you can adjust to accomplish that.
That's good. So what is the best strategy for bidding on Facebook ads, and how can you optimize the campaign budget? Because especially for small businesses, they always have a tighter budget. They don't have that much budget to spend on their ad campaigns. So how do you make sure that you're optimizing every dollar that you're spending on the ad budget?
I would say that you would have to put in, you have to think of it as an investment, right? So it's always going to be what you're putting in. You have to like put it in with the expectation, if I got none of this back, I'd still be okay. And like my business wouldn't fall, like I wouldn't go out of business because of it. So if you're doing that, manual bidding or like whatever it leaves it as is typically what I'll end up using and what I would always recommend for a beginner. And so that you can, kind of make it as simple as possible. And the platform's pretty intuitive where it's giving you a lot of information that it's just recommending for you based off of what you're selecting. So just continuing to use that and trust that as you go. Budget wise, whatever feels right for you and what you feel comfortable investing it in per day is what I would recommend.
And when do you think, like, let's say if I'm running an ad campaign and I feel like, okay, it's not working, it's been maybe 10 days and I don't see the results that I was looking for, or the goal that I have set, I'm not really seeing the results that are coming through. So when is a good time to make a change to the campaign, or maybe stop it and start another one? When do you think that?
Give it 3 to 5 days to optimize and see what the results are looking like. And if you're not happy with them, turn it off, take a look at it, be like, what went well, what didn't, what can I retry, and then from there.
Okay, awesome. So what are your closing thoughts about creating Facebook ad strategy?
Yeah, I would say definitely prepare everything beforehand before you even go into the back end of the ads manager. Make sure you have everything set up and like you know what you're going to enter in. do your research, and yeah, just give it a shot, because you'll never know if it works or it doesn't if you don't try.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I heard that once I was talking to a lady, and she said that she had three ads that she was running, and one of the ad, and they were pretty much the same type of ads that she was running, and she was like, she said that two of them are working really fine, but one of them was like literally not working at all. So she said that okay, I waited. I was waiting that okay, let me just stop it, and then she didn't really stop it, and there was no cap on her budget. So she ended up spending a lot of money on it, and so it's not that easy to definitely have a Facebook ad. Like having a strategy will always help you making sure that the dollar that you're putting in or the spending that you're doing, it will always give you the desired results.
Yeah.
So thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming. And
Thank you
how can
so
people
much.
reach out to you if they're looking to get some help for Facebook ads?
Diana at ngadvertising.com. But thanks so much for having me. This was super fun. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining us. It was such a great pleasure to have you, Diana, here today.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. So, having a Facebook advertising strategy before any business spends their time and money is very important to get the desired results for any ad campaign. If you have any questions, leave us a comment below and we will be happy to help you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel on YouTube, Green Marketing Zone. Thanks for watching.